A hearty good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, dear listener. This is the 32nd episode of The Guy Doing Things. Still going strong, still going healthy. I hope all is well with you, whoever is listening. And thank you so much for joining in and laughing with us in this episode. I'm talking to Keketso Ratsiane from the Santon Comedy Club. Such a cool guy. We laughed way too much in this episode, but I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have your coffee or drink ready. And let's do this. Okay, awesome. I'm super stoked to have Kay or Keketso Ratsiane on my podcast, and such a cool man. Our journey started in 2017. We actually spoke at one of the Perspective conferences, and from there on, we've just been following each other on social media and keeping up. And I was actually at his wedding. That was super cool. So yeah, that was so awesome, man, and it's such a cool privilege to be part of all those cool things. And now you get to be a part of one of the small things in that I do in my life. So Kay, welcome to the Guy Doing Things.
This is awesome. How are you, my friend? Man, this is great. It's good to hear from you. It's good to engage again. And yes, you were at my wedding. I just remembered.
Yes.
You reminded me of that.
That was so cool. It was the first time I was at a traditional wedding, so I was blown out of the water. But it was so cool, man.
Through. I'm so glad that you were there, brother. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
And it's good to be on this podcast, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And you know, I can't help but having a smile on my face when I speak to you, and it's so appropriate that the episode is called Laughing at Myself. So these past few days now, before we get into the podcast, the reason that I want you on it is just because you have such a sparkling, personality. So I love that. But also that the past few days I've been encountered with these moments that kind of can get you down, something like rain, or when you drop something and it breaks and you're like, damn it. And I realized that my coping mechanism these past few days or these past few months have been to just laugh at myself when things like that happen. And that made me think, why not spread this, try to spread this whole mindset. Instead of being super serious, let's laugh at ourselves more. And I think you're the perfect person to talk to, because you embody this kind of, I won't say carefree, because I know you're actually a very deep soul, but you always manage to have a smile on your face. But just for the viewers, I know now, but I just want to, just for the viewers, the listeners, just for the listeners, just tell us a bit where you're from, a bit about your background. What did you study and or qualify in, and what are you currently busy with?
So I am from a place called Asibukeng, which is in Adavao. That's where I was born. Then at the age of 10 years old, which was in 1995, we moved to a beautiful, majestic place called Vervoegstad. Good old Vervoegstad, which is now called Antwerp.
Okay, nice.
Good old Vervoegstad.
It's a tongue twister almost.
Yeah. In fact, we were the first black family in my whole neighborhood.
Okay, awesome.
Back then.
Pioneers.
Yeah. So, it's good time. I studied sports management and at Varsity College, and then after that I went into full-time ministry for about a year or so. Then I asked to step off a full-time ministry in order to go into the corporate world. That's when I went into a place called Ernest & Young, where I was consultant there. Then worked at ESCOM when Brian Thomas was still there. So I've been in corporate, for a long time, and at the moment I've got my own businesses. I've got a business in solar power, in renewable energy.
Yeah.
That's my focus. And also I've got another business within the import and export. I've got a business there, and I'm developing an app as well that will be coming out later on this year. So watch out for that. It's gonna just secure our payments in the things that we do. That's all I can tell you for now.
Awesome, man. Yeah, well, we'll promote that. We'll promote that very, very loudly from our side, from the podcast and everything. So don't worry about that. We'll have your Instagram handles at the end. We'll definitely hand that out so people can give it a follow. But it's such a super exciting. Sounds like such a exciting journey. And I think people listening are like, okay, he was in ministry and then in the corporate world, and why are we talking about laughing with this guy? But you're actually very active in the comedy, in the funny scene. So tell us about that. How did you get involved in the comedy scene?
So after I was in the corporate world, I sort of went through a depression phase where I was losing myself, losing myself in church, losing myself as a person, and I wanted to do something in the creative world because for so long I was in the corporate world. Yeah. And somehow I started managing a comedian by the name of the Napster. I managed him for about 2 years. Just doing all his shows, production, booking, and stuff like that. And then I just said to myself, well, I want to do this on a bigger scale. I want to give a platform for comedians to come on stage and to promote what they do, because I love comedy so much. I've always loved comedy. I've always been a fan of comedy. And I've always wanted to do comedy, but it's not something that I ever got into. Yeah. So then I started a place called the Sandton Comedy Club, which was, of course, based in Sandton. At the time, we started at a place called Hard Rock Cafe. Okay. I love that. Yeah, we did comedy there on Tuesday nights. And then at the beginning of 2019, we went to a place called Alice and Fifth, which is on the corner of Alice and Fifth in Sandton.
The name's quite fitting, yeah.
Yeah, listen, you cannot miss it because it's on the corner of Alice and Fifth. And so we did comedy there on Tuesday nights as well. And quite recently, before the lockdown now, we were doing comedy at Monte Casino at a place called Lima Tapas Bar, where we had comedy every Wednesday night. Okay. And when I say comedy, I mean I put on guys from everybody, from your Scorpus to the Goliaths, to Eric Johnson, to Titi Pasha. Every comedian that you can think of has been through, through my stage. Yeah. And it's an honor to just give the comedians another platform where they can showcase what they do. Yeah. And from what I know, this comedy journey kind of, helped you through life and helped you see life with a different, from a different perspective, which is awesome. And I think that's something that once you grasp it, you can't actually let it go because you've already seen it. It's like, tasting ice cream for the first time. Unless if you really, really hate it, you can't actually go back from there then. If you tasted comedy, if you tasted ice cream, ice cream for the soul. That can maybe be the title of the next show, Ice Cream for the Soul. Ice cream for the soul. Ice cream for the soul. Very true. But
Definitely, and I'll have a 2-minute feature in the beginning. I'll do the opening. Okay, we'll talk about that off the air. No, I'm kidding. I want to go a bit deeper with this because I know there is a deep side to Kay. So I want to ask you, what do you think humor teaches us about ourselves? What humor, the funny side of life, what does that teach us about ourselves?
I think what you actually said now was quite interesting, and I didn't realize it until you literally just said it now about how I wanted to like attach that humor to to something good or to something that I see.
Yeah.
Because I remember I got into comedy because I was going through a very deep depression in my life. I mean, I was suicidal. I hated myself. I hated who I was becoming. I didn't want to become this corporate guy who just goes to church for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And that's when I got into comedy. And now I keep on doing comedy, for other people as well. And I realize, that humor and laughter are phrases that it's the best way to get over ourselves.
Yeah.
It's the best way to just look at things differently and just look at. I am in awe of what comedians do. I am as I stand there and I sit there and I take pictures because I'm in awe of how a comedian can see a situation that I see at the same time, and they see it at a totally different view and at a very funny view. And I go, that's so true.
Yeah.
There's so many times when you be listening to a comic and you go, that's so true. Because, that's how it is. We have to be in awe of these guys because we need to realize as well the comedians aren't there to get laughter from us. Comedians are there to give us laughter.
Yeah.
There's so many things in this world that we're going through that it's hard to laugh at. That life isn't funny right now. Things can't be funny at this moment. But if you really think about it, humor can bring us together. Humor can bring two people together. I mean, that's why so many girls, so many females like people or like guys who are funny.
Yeah.
Because, laughter releases, whatever that is, to go, oh, wow, you're so funny. Or, oh, wow, you look at a situation, so differently.
Yeah.
I know for me personally, I've always had a stutter in my speech, right? I've grown up with a stutter in my speech my whole entire life. But the best way that I knew how to get over that stutter was to add humor to my life.
Yeah.
Because I realized that if I made people laugh, and I can now breathe much easier, and I can get my words out a lot more.
Yeah.
And as well, people will accept me instead of rejecting me because of my stutter. This was, when I was younger. I would say, because, people would laugh at me, people would make fun of me. But then I went, but if I'm funny, and if I try to be funny, people will then accept me. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing about humor and about jokes. It's a place, or it's something that we can use to just look at life differently. Just look, get over ourselves, get over what's happening in the moment, and just laugh and just release that energy. That's why they say that laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah. No, definitely.
It's possible to laugh until your stomach hurts, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. And I said this in 2017, back then already. When you started your speech, I met you, we had a chat, and then the conference started, and it was your turn to go up, and then you started talking about. First of all, you made a super cool meme, so I remember, I still use that meme till today, the Thor meme. So
people need to see that meme every week.
So I'll definitely share this when the episode gets out. But you started with that, and then you started your speech by saying that you have a stutter, and my mouth was open. I was like, dude, I've been chatting with you for an hour now, and I didn't even notice that. And that's the cool thing. I mean, you just explained the process you had to go through, but from people from our side, from people on the outside, we were just like, oh, it's a funny guy. We like this guy. We didn't even notice the stutter. So that's really awesome, and it shows the power of laughter and laughing at yourself and not taking yourself too seriously, and using humor as a tool, not to to disguise who you really are, or whatever, but it actually empowers you to be more of who you are, because now you can be K, and you can be that guy, So that's awesome.
I'm gonna tell you about this. There's a book. There's a book that I'm reading called "The Art of Possibility" by Benjamin Zander.
Okay.
And in it, he talks about rule number 6. And it's called rule number 6.
Okay.
And he's got this story about how these two prime ministers are sitting in a room, doing politics stuff.
Yeah.
And the door opens, and someone walks in, and they're frantic. They're like, "Oh my goodness, this is happening!" And he just says, "Peter, remember rule number 6." Immediately he calms down. He's like, "I'm so sorry." He bows and he walks out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 20 minutes later, a lady comes in. Her hair is crazy. She's frantic. She wants to write stuff. And the Prime Minister says, "No, Sarah, remember rule number 6." She calms down. She goes, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." At the third occasion, that it happened, the other Prime Minister goes, "Actually, I'm sorry about all of it. Let's stop. What is rule number 6? Like, you keep saying that." And all of a sudden, everybody just calms down. What is rule number 6? And rule number 6 is literally, don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Don't take yourself so seriously. He goes, "Okay, wow, that's pretty good. What are the other rules?" He's like, "There are no other rules. Just don't take yourself so seriously."
That's so cool, man. Yeah.
And, I took that into my life, and I said, you know what? Let's not take ourselves so seriously, man. You'll realize that you'll calm down and you'll figure out a solution for your problem.
Yeah.
When you don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah. And I was just about to ask how, what would you use to motivate others to start seeing the funny side of life? But you literally just, you kind of answered that before we even asked that. But is there anything else besides, taking yourself too seriously? What would you say to people that need to have this, this little bit of a nudge to say, listen, let's see the funny side of life. Try to laugh at yourself a bit more. Is there a 5-step plan by Kay or something like that?
You know what? It's just a thing of, there's so much in life to make us feel sad. There's so much in life that hurts. We can look at the things that are not being done properly. We can look at so many things, but at the same time, there's so many things in life that can make us feel happy.
Yeah.
There's so many things in life that can make us smile, and it's like that old saying that if you want to see change in the world, then be the change that you want to be in the world.
Yeah.
If there's no laughter in your own house, then be the laughter in your own house, in your own relationship.
Yeah.
If you're saying this relationship is boring, then make it fun. for yourselves. You know, if you can't live with you, then it's very hard for other people to live with you.
Yeah.
So entertain yourself first. Lead yourself first to happiness before you can lead others to joy.
Yeah. That's such awesome advice, man. I
should tweet that.
Yes.
Tweet that.
Yeah. Write it down, tweet it. I'm not going to steal that quote. I wanted to, but I won't. So just a last, send off. So actively, people can just be part of the Santon Comedy Club and rock up and be part of the shows. So how do we get in touch besides going to Facebook and just typing in Santon Comedy Club and press the thumbs up button? How do we also get part of this whole movement and the or just if you want to go and see some shows and if we're looking for some laughter, how do we get in touch with you or the club?
So here's the thing as well. My shows are free.
Awesome.
It's free to come into the show. Because it's at a restaurant, you can eat, you can drink, you can be merry, you can be with your friends and watch comedy and just enjoy comedy. Because the whole point is, to support local comedy. That's what we're there to do. So the shows are free. So on our social media, it's literally at Santon Comedy Club, as it is. And then on my handles as well, it's the letter K, and then again KEKETSO. So it's KKEKETSO.
Yeah.
That's my social media handle. We have comedy every Wednesday night. Once we go back to a level 1.
Yeah.
Like once we can gather as a people. We can gather as a people, we will have comedy again. For right now, it's on hold. And that's just what we do. So it's on our social media, and if and when people want to get on stage as well, they can send me a message on Santon Comedy Club, and as well I've got an email that is santoncomedy@gmail.com. Again, santoncomedy@gmail.com. If you want to get on stage, all I'm asking you to do is 5 minutes. Just do 5 minutes of comedy. And I know that you could say, 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a long time.
Yes, it is.
If you're going to be standing there and trying to make people laugh, 5 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
And what I say to comics is, to fresh comics that come through, I say, all you need is 5 laughs. That's all you need. Just 5 laughs. Tell a story for 55 seconds, and then you get a laugh.
Yeah.
You tell another story for 55 seconds, and then you get a laugh. All you're looking for is 5 laughs. If you have 5 laughs, you've done an excellent job with your 5 minutes. Okay.
Well, it seems like a good challenge, and the guy doing things is always up for a challenge. So maybe we'll I'll try something like that. But yeah, we'll have a chat about that. But Kay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This was awesome. Ketso Ratiane, and you got his Santon Comedy Club on Instagram and Facebook. Also KK Ketso. He spelled it out for you guys, so you just go follow him on social media. Thank you so much for being here on the guy doing things, for sharing your story, and for being so motivating. And keep the laughs up, man.
Awesome, man. It's good to hear from you. It's great that we can speak. Thank you again for this opportunity. And let's do this again sometime.
Shots. So for some more laughs, go and follow Kay on Instagram or Facebook, and once we open up, go and pay the comedy club a visit, and why not participate? I hope you stay healthy and well. Thank you so much for supporting the guy doing things. Until next time, cheers for now.